Explosions lit up the night sky over the Strait of Hormuz as Rangers and Navy SEALs stormed Iranian positions. In one lightning strike, the 75th Ranger Regiment and Navy SEALs smashed through heavily defended Iranian lines, destroyed minefields and patrol boats, and secured the vital waterway. What Iran had spent weeks building was crushed in hours, and Tehran was left in complete shock. The operation began with intense, highly coordinated preparation aboard the USS Tripoli amphibious assault ship and at several forward operating bases around the Gulf. Rangers from the 75th Ranger Regiment, renowned for their rapid assault and airfield seizure capabilities, conducted final gear checks under red light. They inspected suppressed Mk-18 carbines, panoramic night vision goggles, fast rope harnesses, extra ammunition, and medical kits, while studying high-resolution drone feeds and satellite imagery of Iranian defensive positions. Every operator reviewed multiple contingency plans for different enemy reactions. At the same time, Navy SEALs prepared for complex waterborne and coastal raids. They tested closed-circuit rebreathers that produced no bubbles, diver propulsion vehicles, limpet charges with shaped explosives, advanced encrypted communications gear, and suppressed weapons. Loadmasters carefully packed pallets of Javelin anti-tank missiles, TOW systems, demolitions, and medical supplies onto MV-22 Ospreys and CH-53E Super Stallions. AH-64 Apache gunship crews worked alongside them, using mechanical hoists to mount AGM-114 Hellfire missiles on the stub wings, locking the mounting lugs with solid clicks, plugging in complex wiring harnesses, and testing data links twice for continuity. Bright red arming pins with small flags remained inserted until final clearance. Fuel trucks moved quickly between the helicopters, connecting single-point refueling nozzles and pumping JP-8 kerosene into the tanks while monitoring gauge panels carefully. The humid Gulf air hung heavy at over 95 degrees even after sunset, making every movement feel more demanding. But the entire joint force operated with quiet, professional focus. Night Stalker helicopters from the 160th SOAR led the assault, flying nap of the earth just above the black water to avoid Iranian coastal radar. MH-47 Chinooks and MH-60 Black Hawks carried the first wave of Rangers toward a strategic rocky peninsula overlooking the narrowest stretch of the strait. As the helicopters flared briefly over the landing zone, Rangers fast roped down onto high ground. Boots slammed into the hard, rocky terrain. They immediately fanned out, digging fighting holes into the difficult soil, setting up heavy machine gun positions with interlocking fields of fire, and establishing sniper overwatch on elevated outcrops. At the exact same moment, Navy SEALs inserted by sea, using silent diver propulsion vehicles and bubble-free rebreathers, they swam toward Iranian patrol boat bases and mine-laying vessels anchored near the shore. The Rangers struck hard and fast on land, supported by low-flying Apache gunships that raked enemy positions with 3.0mm chain guns and Hellfire missiles. They cleared Iranian observation posts hidden among the rocks and thorny scrub. The Rangers advanced with speed and violence of action, using suppressed weapons and grenades to neutralize resistance before it could organize. Sweat soaked through uniforms as they moved across the sharp, uneven terrain. When an Iranian coastal battery suddenly attempted to fire missiles toward the main shipping lane, Rangers called in precise Apache strikes that destroyed the launchers in massive fireballs that lit up the night sky. Meanwhile, Navy SEALs worked in the dark water with lethal efficiency. They attached limpet charges to Iranian vessels with meticulous wiring and timed detonators, then withdrew to safe distances before controlled underwater blasts tore through multiple targets, sinking fast boats and creating wide gaps in the dense minefield. The operation maintained relentless momentum across sea, air, and land. SEAL teams conducted rapid raids deeper along the coastline, disabling radar sites and communications nodes that had been directing Iranian forces. Rangers seized and secured the strategic peninsula overlooking the main shipping channel, establishing strong defensive positions with Javelin anti-tank teams and sniper overwatch. Apache pilots flew aggressive low-level attack runs, coordinating in real time with both Ranger and SEAL elements on the ground and in the water. The coordination between the Rangers' rapid ground assaults, the SEALs' maritime expertise, and the Apache's devastating firepower proved overwhelming. Iranian swarm boats that had terrorized commercial tankers were systematically hunted down and destroyed. Minefields that had paralyzed shipping for days were blown open in a series of controlled detonations. By the time the first hints of dawn appeared on the horizon, the Iranian blockade had been effectively shattered. As daylight spread across the Gulf, the scale of the victory became undeniable. The first escorted tankers began moving through the strait under American protection. Shipping traffic steadily increased as international vessels regained confidence in the reopened waterway. The flow of oil, which had been nearly cut off for days, slowly returned toward normal levels. Global markets reacted with cautious relief as the immediate energy crisis began to ease. In the hours after the main combat phase, American forces shifted focus to consolidation and long-term control. Additional Ranger companies air assaulted in via Night Stalker helicopters to reinforce the secured positions, while SEAL teams conducted final clearance sweeps along the coastline to eliminate any remaining threats. Apache helicopters continued combat air patrols overhead, their advanced sensors sweeping constantly for any sign of Iranian regrouping. Engineers widened the cleared shipping channels, established permanent observation posts with portable radar systems, and laid extensive concertina wire to strengthen defensive lines. The joint force remained fully alert, weapons hot and ready, scanning the horizon through the rising heat haze and dust that hung over the rocky coastal terrain. The successful crushing of the Iranian blockade sent major shockwaves through Tehran. Iranian state media immediately condemned the operation as blatant aggression, while military commanders scrambled to respond and explain how American special operators had dismantled their defenses so quickly. The speed, precision, and overwhelming coordination of the 75th Ranger Regiment and Navy SEALs had clearly caught Iranian forces completely off guard. Their carefully constructed blockade, which had taken weeks to build, was dismantled in a single night of intense, coordinated, elite action. Even with this decisive tactical victory, the broader strategic tension across the Gulf did not vanish. Iranian forces still maintained positions further inland and retained some capability to launch new attempts. Rangers and SEALs stayed dug in on the peninsula, eyes scanning through thermal sights and night vision devices. Apache crews continued flying sustained combat patrols. The entire force understood that while they had successfully reopened and secured the Strait of Hormuz, the larger contest for control of this vital waterway was far from over. This operation stood as a major turning point in the crisis. The 75th Ranger Regiment and Navy SEALs had crushed the Iranian blockade through exceptional skill, speed, and coordinated violence when necessary. Global shipping lanes were flowing once again, and the world could breathe a little easier, at least for the immediate future. Their actions had secured victory in one of the most strategically important maritime choke points on the planet, and sent a powerful message about American resolve to protect freedom of navigation. The success highlighted the unmatched capability of America's premier light infantry and naval special warfare forces when operating together in complex littoral environments. The Rangers' rapid assault tactics, combined with the SEALs' maritime expertise, created a combination that proved extremely difficult for Iranian forces to counter effectively. If you want to stay ahead of these high-stakes special operations and understand how the 75th Ranger Regiment, Navy SEALs, and other elite American units continue to shape events in the Strait of Hormuz, hit subscribe right now and turn on all notifications. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Iran will attempt to rebuild their blockade and escalate further? Or has this operation forced them into a more defensive posture? Who do you believe currently holds the stronger position in the Gulf after this decisive strike? The situation remains fluid, and the next major development could arrive at any moment under the Gulf sky.